Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 7. So in the last episode we spent a ton of time gathering up all of these bees. We have everything from gold all the way up to unobtainium now. Let me just say it was so incredibly worth it. If we go over here and look at my brand new centrifuge setup, we can see just how many materials we've got. Look at all of this iron alone. That's so much. All these diamonds, gold, and then all of this vibranium, unobtainium, and all the modium, which is going to be pretty useful. Along with that, we have a bunch of space to process a ton of combs. We have this, well, how much is it? 64,000 MB? I don't even know what that means. Tank for honey. We've got one for chorus fruit juice. I don't remember what it's called. And then we have this advanced solar generator, which hooks up everything. Now, for today's episode, what I want to do is go ahead and fix up this whole sorting system because it is turning into a mess. This is supposed to be a food chest, and there's a cooking, actually that is technically food. There's gunpowder and string, and just there's so much stuff in places that it shouldn't be. So I'm gonna fix this up today with the help of refined storage, which should really help out with the whole sorting system because I can tear this whole thing down and everything will just fit inside of whatever I build here. And like, these storage systems can get really crazy. Like, this is 1,048 million blocks of storage. And this is infinite storage. Infinite does not sound as cool as 1,048 million items, though. So that's why I pointed that one out first. But along with this, we have auto-crafting. Where is that? Yeah, right here. Or no, right here. Auto-crafting, which pretty much will really help with all of this bee stuff over here, because when we get all these vibranium, unobtainium, and all the modium nuggets, I don't really want to have to craft them into bars, but with the automatic crafting, it will craft them into bars, then put them into the storage system, which is what we're going to do today. Get a storage system hooked up, and then finish the, I guess I'll call it bee trilogy, with finishing up all of the sorting system stuff with the bees. Wow, that was a lot of talking for the first few minutes, so let's get started with that storage system. The first thing I'm going to need is this it's not called the refined storage, it's called the controller. The controller is the core of your refined storage network. You need to connect all your refined storage devices to this block. The refined storage system, honestly, it shouldn't even be as big as this entire sorting system here. It's going to be pretty small, I hope. I actually have no idea how it works. So how do I make this? Quartz enriched iron, yeah, that's easy enough to make. Machine casing, that is also, I'm gonna need a lot of nether quartz. Do I even have, oh my god, wait, I have quartz bees. Oh my god, I'm so happy that I went out and got all of these bees. You can see just how overcrowded this little chest is with all of the combs. So what I'm gonna do when I actually set up the whole storage system is each of these rows is going to have a different centrifuge that goes to it, or maybe possibly even multiple centrifuges for rows to really help speed things up with all of these speed upgrades, and that way it'll push stuff out really quickly. But first I have to get started with getting all of that quartz enriched iron. Okay, and hopefully this will be enough quartz enriched iron for everything that I need, but I know for a fact it's not going to be, because every time I say, oh, this is going to be enough, it's never enough. I don't even remember what I needed it for. This thing, metal casing. And the last thing I need is this advanced processor, which requires raw advanced processor, which require, what is this stuff? Processor binding, 2 string, and a pink slime. Okay, I can do that. I'm going to assume that any slime will work, so let's find out. Yep, that is a lot of processor binding that I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna need. But what was the rest of that recipe? Redstone, diamond, and silicone. Okay, there we go, a bunch of raw advanced processors. And now if I just smelt them up, they become, yes, the advanced processors. And now with that, I can craft myself, nope, okay, I guess that's not it. There we go, a controller. Okay, so it does look like this thing needs to be powered, which I kind of assumed was going to happen. But if I place it down, how does this work? I guess I need to power it first before I can do anything. If I put it down right here, oh, it's powering. It's glowing funny colors. No, it's just red. Oh, it's blue now. I still do not know how this works. Okay, what is next? Grid. Lets you access your storage. How do you make there's so many things. What are these? Okay, now that this thing is fully powered, I'm gonna break it and move it somewhere else so I can work with everything while I get all the storage stuff set up. And then eventually I think I'm gonna have that advanced solar processor powering every single thing. So like all the centrifuges, all the pipes, and the storage system as well. I think it should be enough, but I really don't know. So if it comes to it, I'll make another one. Okay, how do I make a grid? Another machine casing, coarse enriched iron. What are these? Improved processors, construction core, destruction core, and glass. Okay, I think I can do that. And with all of those, I should be able to craft. No, apparently not. Oh, wait, I lied. Now I can craft the grid. So if I put that down here... Oh my goodness, that is a lot of storage. I can't put things in there yet. How do I put things in there? Okay, let's just move on and hope that I can figure out how that works. How do I make a wireless grid? I need to make another grid and then do that. Okay, and I think the wireless grid just allows me to access my storage from anywhere, so definitely gonna need that. Okay, there we go, wireless grid. I don't know how to hook it up, which sucks, so I guess I'll have to figure that out too. Let's just continue on with the crafting grid. Actually, no. I want to start storing things in here, so I can make these storage parts, which I'm pretty sure go in these side panels right here, and that's what actually allows you to store all of your items. So I'm not 100% sure how this actually is made. Oh, that's actually really easy. Like this, yes, 1K storage part. So if I put this here, no, it just doesn't. I do not know where it goes. Do I have to make this a storage housing and then use that? And then combine the two to make the 1K storage drive, and then does this go in here? I really do not know how this works. Oh, I'm stupid. I should have just looked ahead in the whole thing. Okay, a storage disk is an item where items from the storage network are stored on. It has to be put in the disk drive. The storage disk won't despawn when dropped in the world. So how do I make a disk drive? A chest. I can absolutely do that. That is insanely easy. And boom. So now if I put the disk drive next to this, can I put this in here? And then finally, oh my god, I can actually put items in the storage system. And then they get stored in here, but how do I access them? Does the grid have to be touching that? Oh my god. Items. I did it. Storage system. Let's go. This single 3-block thing right here could be my entire storage system. That's amazing. I do need to figure out a way to continuously power this, though, just to make sure. But what I am going to do now, before I do that, is go and start with getting myself the crafting grid, which I need to actually craft items inside of the storage system. And honestly, that is an insanely easy crafting recipe. And we've run out of power, so maybe I kind of just steal one of these for now. And hopefully that'll be... Yes! It is enough to power it! Which means I can work on this thing while I wait to end up using the advanced solar generator. And boom! Crafting grid. So if I'm in here... Or actually, wait, do I have to be in here? Oh my god, wait! I don't even need the 2 grids! Because this one's got the grid and the crafting. Let's freaking go. And that's a good thing anyway, too, because I can use that for the fluid grid, which is just the grid, a bucket, and one of these advanced processors. Now, does the fluid... How does the fluid grid even work? If I take lava and put it in there, will it just, like... I don't know. We'll figure that out eventually. Okay, so now we've got all of the basic components that I'm going to need for this thing. The next step is I need to actually start upgrading these storage parts to get all the way up to... I think I want to go for 64K to start off, and then hopefully that'll be enough for today. It's probably not going to be, but, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I do know that for each of these upgraded storage parts, you need 3 of the previous one, which is definitely not going to be super exciting to get. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Right off the bat, I already have enough for 3 of these 1K storage parts, which hopefully means I can go ahead and craft the first 4K storage part. Awesome! I do think I'm actually going to start dumping everything into the storage system just because it's already here and I might as well start to use it. But you can already see that these items that I have in here, it already has this 1K storage drive pretty much filled up, and this was just my inventory. So you can really see how much storage I'm actually going to need to fill all of these chests and all of the B stuff that's over there, which is really going to be a lot. Plus any future projects that I do, this thing needs to be massive. But now I have to get a ton of silicone because I'm going to need a bunch of it for these 1K storage drives. I'm also going to head into the other here because I need... Wait, is there actually any regular sand deserts here? Yeah, I need a ton of sand for glass, because that is something else that I need to make all of the 1K storage drives. And I think an inventory full is enough sand for now. Okay, and here is all the 1K storage parts that I need. I'm pretty sure I went a little bit overboard, but it'll end up being good because after 4K comes 16K and then extra. So having more is better. Okay, and here's a bunch of 4K processors, which I can hopefully turn into 16K processors. And then that can be used in a 64K processor, which that is a lot of storage, but it is not as much as I want to get right now. For today, I think I just want to go up to this 1024K storage, which is 1,024,000 items, which is definitely going to be more than enough for what I need for now. And here we are with our first 256K storage part. I actually already went ahead and got the other 6 that I'm going to need for this, so now with that, I have 3 256K storage parts, which gets me the 1024K storage part, which is exactly what I needed. Now I just need to make this advanced storage housing, and then if I combine that with the 1024K storage part, we got ourselves the 1024K storage disk, which means now I can take everything out of here, take the 1K storage disk out, and put that one in, and now I have so much storage. And look at that, I have all of these items in here, which would have been way too much for the 1K storage to handle, and it's not even 1% of this storage drive. This is incredible. But now comes the fun task of relocating everything from every chest into here, which honestly shouldn't be too bad. Alright, and after transferring every single item that I own that was in my storage system, this all took up a grand total of 0%. This it's so much storage. It's so much storage. And now I finally have the pleasure of tearing this entire thing down. And would you look at that beautiful, empty simplicity for the storage system. This is honestly one of the coolest things that I've done so far. Also, this is not permanently where this is going to be. Eventually, I'm going to move the whole storage system over to here because of all the stuff that I'm about to do right now, which is all of the bee sorting. Yes, it's all going to end up going into the system, but the way that this is going to work is pretty much underneath all of these beehives, I'm going to have item pipes coming out, which are going to take all the honeycombs out, and then it'll direct those into different centrifuges, which will process everything. Then, if the stuff is dust, like this gold or iron, I'll have it processed into bars, and then everything that I can turn into blocks, like diamonds, lapis, and also the gold and iron, is going to be turned into blocks before it actually goes into the system. But all the modium, unobtainium, and vibranium, I'm going to have it turned into bars, just because there's simply not going to be as much of it as there is everything else, and all of this wax, unfortunately, is, it's going bye-bye. I'm going to burn it all because it produces way too much. And another great thing about that system is there's fluid storage, so I can store all of this honey in it as well. But now that I have a basic idea of what I'm about to do, let's get started with it. So the first thing I really have to do is I have to move all of this stuff into the actual storage system itself, which honestly, not going to take very long time. I'm probably going to throw away all of the wax that's currently in there just because I know for a fact that I'm never going to touch it, ever, so there's no point in actually keeping it. And now that it's all torn down, we can actually get started putting this thing together. The first thing I really need to do is I need to make a few of these powered centrifuges. I know I already have one in here, so that'll give me 4, which is perfect for what I need. On top of that, I'm going to need 16 of these speed upgrades. I already have 4, and I'm not sure if I have enough stuff to make the other 12 that I need. Yeah, no, I definitely need to go get a bunch of stuff. And there we go, all 16 speed upgrades with 4 powered centrifuges. Before I actually hook up any of that, the next thing I need is a ton of these item pipes, which I need to make droppers for, so I should probably get some of those. And I definitely think that 3 stacks will be enough. Now comes a rather tricky part, which is actually hooking up all of these item pipes to all of these beehives. So I might actually wait till nighttime so there's not a lot of bees under there, and then I will hook up all the pipes to make sure that bees don't escape. So in theory, if I dig up right here, it's going to be the bottom of the hive. Yes! And then pipes going out of it with the last one wrenched to make sure it actually pulls out of there. It should actually pull stuff out of here, which is perfect. And with all 5 hooked up, I can start to put the pipes that connect everything together. And there we go. This is connected to all 5 of those hives. Now I just have to do this 3 more times. There's the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. So now that we have these 4 item pipes hooked up, I can actually start to put in the centrifuges, but as a buffer zone in between each of them, I'm going to have a hopper with a chest in it. That way, once I hook up the item pipes, which actually should start working now, holy crap, I'll have a place to actually hook up the energy pipes to power the centrifuges. So the next step in this process is actually going to be setting up the auto-crafting and auto-smelting that's going to happen within the system. The first part of that is actually just going to be figuring out which things are going to need to be smelted, which I'm pretty sure it is only going to be the gold and iron, so that shouldn't be too hard, but everything else is going to be auto-crafted. So these 3 materials will be, 4 of the 5 of these will be, 2 of the 5 of these will be, and then 3 of the 5 of this row will be. I think to do that, I actually need to move this whole sorting system over to where it's going to be permanently, just because I think the auto-crafting stuff has to be hooked up to it. So in order to get all this auto-crafting stuff started up, I need to make one of these, a pattern, which honestly, pretty easy to make. Oh, and then you use that to make a pattern grid, which is used for auto-crafting. There we go, pattern grid. How does this work then? I'm guessing I put a pattern here, and then let's say I take diamonds, put them in here, do that, boom, pattern, 1 diamond block, okay. And then this pattern can be used for, where is it? The crafter, which I have no idea how it actually works. So there's only one way to find out. If we put that down, put the pattern in there, I don't know how it works. After doing research, I've discovered that the refined storage autocrafter isn't exactly what I thought it was. How this one works is, since there's a diamond block autocrafter, if I go in here and look up diamond block shows up right here, and then I can craft as many as I want this way. What I need is for the items to automatically craft into blocks as they come out of here, so I'm going to have to figure out some other way to do that. It looks like a pretty decently easy way that I can go about this is with the thermal expansion sequential fabricator, because with this, you just put in a recipe, and as blocks go in, or items I guess, it automatically uses those items to craft whatever you need. So we're gonna need a handful of these. 9 to be exact. And there is all 9 sequential fabricators that I need. How does this exactly work? So let's say I go in here and I put diamonds like this, output becomes a diamond block, and I click that. If I put this in here, it needs to be powered obviously, but these go in here, and then I'm pretty sure it pushes them out there? Okay, so now that it's being powered, if I put these in here, or I have to click that, then put them in there. Oh yes, it starts to make diamond blocks, and I'm pretty sure you can't actually put any other items in there, which is perfect. What I think that means is I can just have the sequential fabricators lined up next to this, and as the item pipes go over it, it will push the items that it requires into those first, and then it'll craft them and push them out. So what I'm actually going to need to do is have these crafters up a bit, because they're going to need to pull the items down out of the bottom. So I started to put down the sequential crafters, and I started to realize that this is going to be a little difficult having the filters go for just the iron and just the gold on those rows. So what I might do is just swap the placement of these 2 bees with those 2, just so that they all end up in one row, all can go into one furnace, or I guess multiple furnaces, and that'll easily solve that problem. So now this process is just as easy as swapping these 2 beehives places. See, that was easy. Now this whole row is everything that I need to be smelted, which is perfect because it'll line up with that. Now when it comes to the row where everything needs to be smelted, I'm going to need a furnace that's pretty fast. So what I think I'm going to do is actually take the emerald furnace from in here that has the speed the speed augment's gone. Whatever, I think it's in the thing up there. But I'll just take this. And it has the wireless heat receiver, which will also be great because I won't need to put anything in here. And now we've got all of the sequential fabricators set up where they need to be. Now comes the fun part of hooking everything up with all of these different energy pipes. I just need to, make a lot more. Hopefully hooking this up shouldn't be too hard. It's just a matter of configuring all these pipes correctly. And then for this one in the back here, pretty much how it's going to work is kind of the same as up there. The items are going to be put into the furnace first, and then the last step, which honestly should be pretty easy, is just hooking everything up with these power wires. They're not called power wires, they're called power pipes. And there we go, all the power is hooked up. The next thing that I have to do before I continue is I have to actually set up all of these different crafting interfaces to make sure that they all, craft the correct thing. And there we go, everything is all set up and ready to actually start pumping items through it. Kind of. Before I power everything up and actually have the farm start working, what I need to do is I need to make it so that every item that comes out of here actually gets pushed into the sorting system. In order to do that, I need these things. They're called importers. So what I can do with the importer is if I put down, let's say, an oak netherite chest right here, and then attach the elite importer out of the side, and then attach cables to that, any items that go in here can be pushed into the storage system over there. What this also means is I can finally move the storage system to where it's permanently going to be. I think I'm going to put it right here, just because I want to make a path that leads up to it, and having it right here will allow me to do that. To test out if this is actually working, I'm going to put some items in here and see if they get moved into here. So now if I look up a wrench, yes, oh my god, it actually worked. Okay, now I just need to hook up the power system that's going to power this whole thing, and once I do that, it honestly should start working. So if I put this down here, and then put the solar or wind generators down as well, this whole thing should be powered. Yes, the centrifuges are going, they're very slow, I need to put the speed upgrades in. But my question is, as these things start to go, and pull the items out of here, are they going into the furnace? No, what about over here? The items aren't being pulled out of here, that's a little bit concerning. Oh wait, no? Oh, it is being taken out! They just haven't started crafting yet! Oh my god, I can't believe this is actually working. So this is a great start because now everything is actually going to start producing and being shoved into the storage system over there. The only thing is, we also have this fluid grid over here, and all of these centrifuges produce honey. So I'm thinking we have the honey go into the fluid grid over there. I've just got to make a bunch of fluid pipes first. And now with all these fluid pipes, I should actually be able to just hook them up straight to the centrifuges. And then from there into one of these fluid tanks, which I think if I put one of these importers on the side, the fluid will start to go. I don't know how this works. Oh, I figured it out. Oh, it's draining. Oh my god. Okay. That means yes, fluid storage is working! So the last thing that I need to do is, as you can see, all of this wax is building up, but I need a way to get rid of all that wax, and I think I'm going to do that in the form of item filters with these pipes. So pretty much for this, if you put the pipes down and then add the advanced pipe upgrade to it, you have a whitelist ability. And pretty much what the whitelist allows you to do is make it so that you can filter it so only specific items will actually be allowed in the pipes. For example, this one now only lets wax go through. And that's what I'm going to be doing with all 4 of these. Since I don't actually want any of the wax, what I'm going to do is pipe all of it out somewhere else and then have it disposed of in lava most likely. And for that, I'm just going to use a simple old basic redstone thing from Vanilla Minecraft. And this tiny little device should send all of the wax into the lava. Hopefully none of the resources end up in there. And that solves that problem. Despite it looking like just a giant jumble of pipes, I'm actually insanely happy with how this thing turned out. It automatically crafts stuff, it moves all the fluid into here. Wow, that is a lot of honey. It moves all the items automatically into here. And I do think there is also enough power coming out of these, that I should be able to actually power any other future projects. I know for a fact that eventually I'm going to need to make more generators, but for now, this is a lot of power coming out of this little area. Honestly, the fact that this whole thing is working is a miracle because I went into this with maybe 0 planning and didn't act, and the only thing I actually had in my head was an idea. I had no idea how I was going to pull it off, and I am very glad that I was able to because this is so incredibly cool. And the fact that I'm storing 17,000 items within a 4-block space, is also pretty cool. But with having this whole thing completed, I think I'm gonna end the episode here. This one was insanely productive, and I'm super happy that I got all of this set up, because it'll allow me to do a lot of things in the future that require a lot of items at once that a normal storage system wouldn't really be able to handle. So thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe, as it really does help out, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!